So here's the thing. Today I'm going to show you guys some movie teaser trailer posters that worked out pretty well. And a movie poster is one thing, but a specific niche of movie poster is the teaser poster. And the teaser poster is, of course, supposed to just get your interest. And then later on, a lot of times they'll have a second or third, or depending on the brand, they may have 15 different posters that show different types of excitement and things like that. The teaser, depending on if it's a brand new brand or an old established brand like Star Wars or Disney or something like that, or I don't know, just like a famous movie series that you've heard of, they do one type of teaser. A brand new type of movie that you've never heard of will do a different type of teaser. I'll show you. Okay, here's the thing. Let me just find a little shared thing and show you some of them. So there's no expression, they bought it hook, line, and sinker. It's like if you sell somebody something. Okay, first of all, this is a hook. This is the line. This is the sinker. So just imagine a fish comes and they go for your bait. And not only do they bite the worm on the hook, but they were so convinced that it was a good idea that they eat the hook and the line and the sinker. It means they really went for it, that kind of thing. So to try to sell something, of course, we never want to deceive or trick anybody or anything like that, but we do want to get their attention, right? I mean, we have to do that to get somebody to not only be interested in our movie that we're trying to sell, but to be so interested that they buy a movie ticket for $10 and buy concessions for another $8. That's convincing them to spend some money, right? And so what we want to do is not just get somebody interested in our movie, but get them so interested that they're willing to invest, right? And by invest, I mean just buy a ticket and some concessions. Okay, so anyway, this, of course, is a movie from a long time ago, but it at the time was new, right? So like this is before Jaws 2, before Jaws 4. I think there's at least 4 Jaws movies, if not more. But this is the first one, so people didn't know much about it. So to get people's attention, of course, they had that moment of anticipation that they show, like, hey, there's a lady swimming. Hey, there's a giant snaggletooth shark. Hey, the shark looks like it's going for the lady. I wonder if the shark is trying to eat that lady. It's the moment of anticipation. Okay, so I've seen other posters, not necessarily for movies, but for other things like I've seen Coke posters where it's like, hey, we're just about to go watch a movie. We're really excited. It's a new movie, and we're holding a Coke. That's the moment of anticipation. Or hey, there's a man, there's a lady. They're just about to kiss one another. They have not done it yet. It's that moment of anticipation, And so this is sort of that. Let's see. Here's another one. Wait a minute. There's an egg. What? That's not chicken yolk coming out of that egg. That's green glowing stuff and steam coming out of that egg. It says the word alien. I wonder what comes out of that egg. I wonder if an alien comes out of that egg. Well, yep, that's what happens. I'm pretty sure. So, but it's the moment of anticipation. See, and it keeps you guessing. Like, hey, I wonder what that thing looks like when it comes out of there. I've never seen this movie before, but it's a great poster as far as teasers go. So wait a minute, there's one man. That one man casts a lot of shadows, and one of the shadows looks like a monster man. What's wrong with that man? What's going on inside that man? And so sort of that anticipation, the question mark, the poster itself intrigues you. It sort of starts to draw you in to wonder and start to think about it. Okay, once you have an established brand like Toy Story, you can do things a little differently. You don't have to, if you're as successful as they are, you don't have to try to draw people in. You just remind people you exist. Hey, you've seen Toy Story 1, Toy Story 2. Look at this. It doesn't even say Toy Story 3. It just says no toy gets left behind. It has a 3 in the same font and same colors in the brand that they've already established. And so makes you think, hey, you know what? That's the same font and colors as Toy Story 1 and 2. I bet it's going to be Toy Story 3. Well, of course it is, right? They make it so obvious that you can't miss it. Then later, think of that as the hook. They get you interested. Here's the line. Wait a minute. These are characters from Toy Story 1 and 2. It is Toy Story 3. Then later they just come out with eye candy. Like, oh, there's every character in the world and they're all crammed in and they're intertwined with the number 3, you know? So they again, kind of do the whole hook, line, sinker, that kind of thing. So Batman, turns out that's a pretty recognizable, established thing. So they just show this at the theater, and it doesn't say Batman. It just shows a portion of the Batman logo. And so, of course, we all go, hey, that's the Batman logo. It's on a movie poster. I bet on June 23rd, there's a Batman movie coming out. Of course, there's a Batman movie coming out. You know, that's the teaser. Then later on, we'll talk about how they do all the other additional stuff. Here's no, oh, wait a minute. That looks like the Spider-Man logo. There's the number 3. There was already Spider-Man 1 and 2. I bet they're coming out with Spider-Man 3 now. Yep, that's what they did. Hey, wait a minute. That looks like the Superman logo. And at the bottom, if you look closely, it says returns. I bet Superman's coming back for another Superman movie. Yep. Okay. So anyway, once you come out with all that, oh, here's one more. Wait a minute. If you notice closely, the top of the buildings, they're in the shape of a bat. It looks like a bat logo. I bet there's another Batman movie. Yep, that's what it is. They did it. Wait a minute. The bat looks like a red, smiley, creepy face. And that looks almost like eyes. I wonder if this movie has the jokester. And of course, okay, there's the hook. Here comes the line. Yep, it's the jokester. It says jokester on the card. And then later they'll come out with a sinker. Eye candy. Oh, man, there's an explosion. And it looks like the jokester is angry. I wonder if the jokester gets in a fight with the Batman. So it's like, again, kind of like hook, line, sinker, you know. And it always starts with a teaser, though. They just get you interested and to see, like, wait a minute, I bet this might happen. Let's see if it happens. I bet there's an alien coming out of the egg. I wonder if that shark gets into a fight with that lady. I wonder if the jokester is going to get in a fight with Batman. You know, it's always time after time. It's a psychological kind of thing. They get us. Here's one. Before Iron Man 2 and Iron Man 3, they came out with one, and they just showed half of his helmet. And I'll tell you what, not everybody back then knew who Iron Man was, but the people who did back then know who Iron Man was went bananas when they saw this poster. You know, there's nothing fancy about it. It's just, hey, it's a teaser. That looks like half of Iron Man's mask. I bet it'll show the other half of Iron Man's mask because I bet it's an Iron Man movie. And then later, they, you know, it's obvious, hey, there's Iron Man standing in front of the number 2. I bet there's going to be a second Iron Man movie. And then, of course, they'll come out with like the, you know, hook, line, wait a minute. This man looks angry and he has lightning whips. I wonder if this man gets into a fight with Iron Man. And then it's like, yeah, that's what happens. There's an explosion and there's multiple Iron Mans and there's other characters that you're familiar with at that point, you know? So here's another one, a teaser. Listen, I grew up in the 80s and we knew what this was immediately. And, you know, maybe you do now too, because of movies, but we just had the old cartoons and the toys. We used to play with, we played with the Transformer cartoons. They were high quality toys, much better than what they come out with these days. Anyway, that's not the point. So when people saw this, people went crazy because we had never seen like a 3-dimensional textured version of it. We had only seen the old version. And so it was a great teaser. You know, it doesn't have to say Transformers. It didn't need to. It did that thing where it was just enough information for it to be obvious to us, but it let us at least think like we were a part of the thinking process. Like, hey, that logo, that's a Transformers logo. I think they're making a Transformers movie. And so here's another teaser for X-Men, the first X-Men movie. It's like, hey, wait a minute. That's the X-Men logo. And it looks like a door is opening. I wonder if the X-Men are going to walk through that door. You know, they do this kind of thing all the time, just that moment of anticipation. Wait a minute. Disney's making a movie about a glass slipper, and it's a real glass slipper. I bet they're taking the cartoon movie Cinderella and they're going to make a real Cinderella with a real foot to go into that real glass slipper. And so, it just time and time again, it doesn't need to say Cinderella. In fact, it shouldn't say Cinderella because they let you be a part of the thinking process. Let me get on the thing. Okay, here's what they do. They make this thing where it's not quite connected. They give you this much information and they know for a fact you're going to jump to here, but they give our brains the freedom to do it. They don't connect it. Does that make sense? Like, here's what I'm giving you. Here's where I want you to be. And they just let your brain make the little gap right there. Jump the gap. So let's see. I'm going to get back in there. That's always an effective psychological way to do this thing. So let's see here. Wait a minute. I know that is from the Fantastic Four. That's their logo. It has a Marvel logo beneath it. Marvel's going to put out a movie about the Fantastic Four, not comic booky, but real people with real metal, that kind of thing. Okay, so anyway, there's that. Let's see if there's any other. That's the most part. Oh, here's one more again. This is not an established brand. It's back to the Split people. I never saw this movie, but I can tell you, it's an intriguing teaser. It makes you wonder, like, wait a minute. Now here's one man, but inside that one man are many little people. What's going on with the many people inside that one man? It just kind of makes you wonder, that's what it's supposed to do. And so anyway, that's movie teaser posters for you. If you have any questions, just let me know. And I hope that you have a great weekend. And I will talk to you guys later.